Welcome to HLT 101, Medical Terminology. This video will present a brief overview of the course and the expectations for the semester. I look forward to working with you. My name is Dr. Susan Knowles. I'm a nurse, a retired nurse practitioner, and a nurse educator. I've been working at Cochise College now, since 1999. You'll notice here on this slide that I have my contact information. I'm giving it to you for a reason. I want you to have it because I want you to stay in touch with me. Should you have any problems with accessing the course or with completing your assignments, please reach out to me and give me a heads up on what's going on for you. I want to make sure I can do my part to help you to be as successful as possible in this course. Here's your required textbook. It's Medical Terminology, an illustrated guide, the 9th edition, and it's by Cohen and Jones. And it's important that it's in the 9th edition because it's different than the earlier versions of the textbook. If you're concerned that you don't have the textbook yet, I wanted to give you a stopgap option to get you through the first 3 weeks of the course. If you go to Amazon, you can download a free sample of the textbook in the Kindle version, and it's the free sample. And as I said, you'll be able to get the first 2 chapters, and that will take you through the first 3 weeks of the course. And that's because we split the first chapter into 2 parts. Almost every single prefix and suffix that's included in this course is covered in the first chapter. So I try to split it up for you so that you don't have so much to learn in the very first week of the course. Let's talk about the assignments now. All assignments are due each week on Sunday, no later than 10 p.m. And I have the word sharp there on purpose. And this is because the quizzes will close at 10 p.m. sharp. And this is the way that Moodle is set up. Even if you're already in the exam, it's going to shut you out at 10 p.m. So I'm telling you this to make sure that you take this into consideration as to when you start your quiz. Also, I want you to know that everything is always due on Sunday, no other day of the week, so you don't have to be confused as to when are my assignments due, as well as everything is due no later than 10 p.m. And I mean 10 p.m. to complete your assignments. Okay, I get it. Some people are used to midnight. However, I'm not awake till midnight. If you have a problem accessing the course material or some kind of issue like that, I'm usually awake until 10. So you can text me and say, I have a problem. I can't get this. I can't access the material. You know, every once in a while we have internet glitches. Even the college website can go down from time to time. So if you're finding that you have an issue, you can text me. If I'm still awake, I'm going to respond to you. I won't be awake at midnight, on purpose anyway. So that's the reason for that. I also don't like to encourage you to stay up till midnight working on your assignments. I know some of you are nighttime workers and you like to do your homework late at night. That's fine. You can do it any other day of the week, but to turn in your assignment needs to be by 10 p.m. Okay, let's talk about what kind of assignments you have. You're going to have 2 exams, and both of these exams are lockdown browser exams, meaning that that's how they're proctored. You can go to the testing center. You'll need to make your own testing center appointment. Of course, the testing center is only open Monday through Friday. If you haven't done this before, you can read the instructions or you can reach out to me and I can help you with that. I do like to know when you are going to go to the testing center, but it's also set up so that you don't need to go to a testing center. You can take your exams from home or wherever you can access the internet safely. So those are two exams. One is the part 1 exam. That's going to be due during week 5. There's no midterm. This is in lieu of the midterm. And then there will be a practice exam so that you can practice as many times prior to when you're ready to take the exam or when the deadline is approaching. That will help you. And then for the final exam, you have the same thing. I'm going to create a practice final for you so you can practice as many times as you like before you take the actual final exam. Both exams are only available during the week in which they're due, just so that you know. What other type of assignments? We have quizzes every week. If there's 2 chapters due that week, then there's going to be at least 2 quizzes. Occasionally I have 2 quizzes over 1 chapter, but not very often, maybe only 1 week of that. So that means there'll be 1 or 2 quizzes each week. Also, there's a few written assignments, and there are grading rubrics posted on our course page that will give you all the instructions for them. If you have any questions, again, let me know. Then we have a couple of forum assignments that are not associated with Kahoot. And then we have Kahoot games. The feedback I've gotten from students is they enjoy doing the Kahoot games. It helps them to practice the terms prior to the quiz each week. So there's a forum post each week where you can talk about the Kahoots experience, if you made the podium. Also, I'd like you to throw in there if there's a term that you really particularly had a trouble with and you figured out a way to remember that term and what it means, share that with your classmates. That might help them too. And every once in a while, you just keep an eye out. I may throw in an extra question there that you can talk about in the forum. Yep, just might do that. So we've talked about 2 exams. We have quizzes every week. The exams are taken with a lockdown browser. What Kahoots is, written assignments. I think those are the type of assignments we have in this course. So we'll move on to the next subject. So on assignments, week 0. Okay, this is the week prior to when the semester begins. I'll open up the course. So hopefully you are watching this video during that time frame. This is the welcome video that I ask you to listen to before the course begins, or if you didn't start, week 1 is when you can listen to it. Roll call, mandatory sentences, introduction, self-introduction, those are all the titles of the first forum post. And I'd like you to introduce yourself, talk about what your goals are and why you're taking this course. And during that 0 week, you'll find the course documents. In the course documents, you'll find the course expectations. I call them, and the college used to call them, the course expectations, or the procedure sheet. And then I've also created another form for you, which is a check sheet, if you will, week by week, that tells you what the assignments are. So if you do want to print that one, put it up on your bulletin board. That'll help you to keep track of the assignments as well as the due dates for those assignments. I've given you some links to some resource videos that I'd like you to watch during week 1, or week 1 or 0 week. And then there's a Respondus practice quiz. You don't need to study for this quiz. The whole purpose of taking this quiz is to make sure that your computer is set up to take the lockdown browser quizzes. So they're there to make sure that you know, hey, I'm all set up, so I'm ready to go for them. And you'll earn a couple of points for taking that quiz. Once you finish with those assignments, you can go ahead and begin to study for week 1. So let's talk about week 1, what the assignments are. Read chapter 1. And I've given you a certain number of pages to read, which is very short. For week 1, I don't have it on this slide, but it is on our course Moodle, our Moodle course page, excuse me. review the chapter PowerPoint. Every single chapter has a set of PowerPoints for you, and you'll find that under the course material for week by week. I am asking you to make flashcards. Over and over again, the students confirm that the flashcards do help them. And there's a couple ways you can make flashcards. I think the old-fashioned way of making it on a 3x5 card is the best way, but for some people, they like to use Quizlet and perhaps some other online method for making their flashcards. And I think I have another link on the Moodle course page for that. See, I do have some notes over here. I may have written that down. I think it's a really a good idea to complete the exercises after each word table. And I have it posted on our Moodle course page, the word tables or the page numbers where those word tables are. But there's some exercises immediately after that, and I think they're really helpful for reinforcing what those terms are. And again, I would like you to play the Kahoots. It is extra credit, so it's totally up to you if you want to, but as I mentioned before, students have confirmed that that's very helpful to learn the terms, to test them on the terms. At the end of the chapter, there's a chapter review, and I think that's really helpful as well as reinforcing those terms in each chapter. And then there's a quiz for chapter 1. And in the end of chapter 1, the quiz is only over the concepts of medical terminology. Whereas when you move on to week 2, you'll have a quiz over the second half of that chapter, which covers both the prefixes and the suffixes. So now let's talk about the 10 steps for you to be successful in this course. Number 1, buy the textbook. 2, read the assigned textbook chapters. Pretty important. Make flashcards for the word parts that you find in the chapter tables. If there are some terms that are in the PowerPoint that you don't find in the chapter tables, probably a good idea to make flashcards for those too. Use the online tools that are available from your textbook. If you have the ebook, take advantage of the tools. Complete the end of the chapter review, as I mentioned to you just a few minutes ago. Take advantage of the additional resources on our Moodle course page that I have put on the page for you. Some are videos that I have made. Some are videos that I have sourced from another website. Complete all of the assignments on time. Really super important. Take all quizzes twice because that's in your best interest. And of course, use Kahoot and then Quizlet if you like Quizlet. Let me see if there's anything else here that I should tell you. I do have the chapter tables here, but I don't really need to talk about that. Okay, all right. Let's move on. I want you to watch for my weekly letter. I'm going to send you a letter every single week. I'm going to talk a little bit about what the upcoming assignments are for the next week. Maybe I'm going to throw in a couple of additional resources for you. And it varies every week how much I write in the letter, but look for it every Sunday morning. If you don't get it, it might be in your spam folder. If you don't get it, maybe I forgot to send it. That's happened to me before. So I try not to make that happen. Contact me if you don't get it, because there might be a glitch in the system or I forgot. As with anything in life, you only get out of it what you put into it. So keep that in mind. The harder you work or study the course material, the more you'll get out of it. Thank you for enrolling in the course. I hope you enjoy it. Check out our Moodle course page for more details. Should you need more clarification, please get in touch with me. You can contact me via text, cell, or email, depending on the need for speed of the response. And guess what? I'm glad you're here.